You look in the mirror and something feels off, but you cannot pinpoint it. You changed your skincare. You updated your wardrobe. And still, something about the way you look reads older than you feel on the inside. 9 times out of 10, the answer is sitting right on top of your head. I research worst style and beauty mistakes and youth-boosting fixes for mature women so you get simple, proven transformations that work instantly. Today we're perfecting these hairstyles that are aging you. And by part 3 you'll want to pause and look in the mirror. I mean it. We're covering 5 specific hairstyles that subtract years from your face without you even realizing it. Plus exactly what to do instead. Part 4 alone could change how everyone looks at you. If you are not already subscribed to Timeless Wisdom Path, do it now. And the very first hairstyle? I see it every single day. Let's go. 1. The blunt one-length cut. Here is something nobody ever told you, and honestly, someone should have said it years ago. A blunt one-length cut is one of the most aging things you can do to your hair after 50. It looks polished in theory. Clean edges, uniform length, very intentional. But what it actually does on mature hair is quietly devastating. It drags the entire weight of your hair straight down, pulling the eye and your face downward with it. And downward is never the direction we want. Think about what happens to our faces as we age. The jaw softens. The cheekbones need framing, not flattening. The temples and crown need visual lift. A blunt one-length cut does the exact opposite of all 3. It sits heavy, hangs flat, and emphasizes everything you are working to soften. That is why this ages you so fast. What you want instead is a cut that has internal movement built right into the shape. Ask your stylist for interior layering. Layers that live underneath the surface of the hair and create lift without removing your length. You keep the look of fullness, but the weight line disappears. Your face floats up. Your bone structure gets to breathe. This is the one that made a client of mine stop mid-appointment and say, "Why has no one done this before?" The answer is that most stylists default to the blunt cut because it is faster to execute. You deserve better than fast. If you are still wearing a blunt cut with no layering, swap it for a soft layered cut where the weight is removed from below the surface, not from the ends. The ends stay full. The interior lifts. That swap alone shifts your entire face. Maintenance tip. Ask your stylist to freshen the interior layers every 8 to 10 weeks. Not just the ends, because that is where the lift lives. The weight line in your cut is working against your face shape. And in part 2, we are talking about the hairstyle that seems safe, but is quietly closing your face off from the world. 2. The overcropped pixie with zero texture. Have you ever gone short thinking it would feel fresh and modern? And then stood in front of the mirror wondering why your face suddenly looked harder instead of younger? You are not imagining that. And it is not your face's fault. The overcropped pixie is one of the most misunderstood haircuts for women over 50. When it is cut too close, too uniform, and too flat against the head, it removes every visual softener your face depends on. No movement. No frame. No transition between your hair and your features. Just a very short, very tight shape that makes every strong facial angle look more defined. Not in the elegant way, but in the severe way. Here is the surprising truth about why this happens. After 50, our facial contours naturally sharpen slightly as volume shifts. A pixie with no texture amplifies that sharpening. It turns what should be chiseled elegance into something that reads as tired. That contrast between a sharp face and a flat, textureless crop is what adds years. Instantly. The fix is not to grow it all out. The fix is texture. A feathered pixie, where your stylist point cuts the surface to create lived-in softness, gives the same short, modern energy but with movement that frames your face rather than exposing every angle. Pieces around the temples and ears. Slight weight at the crown. A gentle fringe or forward movement at the forehead. Honestly, that version of short hair is spectacular on a mature face. This is everything. One conversation with your stylist about texture changes the whole result. Swap a tightly clipped uniform crop for a feathered or textured pixie, with deliberate movement around the face. If you are sitting in the chair and your stylist is using only clippers with no scissors on top, stop them. You need scissor work for texture. Maintenance tip. A textured pixie stays sharp between 6 and 8 weeks. Visit your stylist at that frequency to keep the shape intentional and the movement alive. Part 3 is where things get really interesting, because we are talking about a haircut that almost every mature woman considers safe. And it is absolutely not. 3. The round mushroom bob. Let me be direct with you the way a real friend would be. The rounded, puffed-out mushroom bob is not doing you any favors. I know it feels safe. I know your stylist might have suggested it. But this particular shape is one of the most aging silhouettes that exists for women over 50. Here is what it does. The mushroom bob adds horizontal width at exactly the wrong place, across your cheekbones and the sides of your head, while removing vertical height from the crown. Width on the sides visually shortens the face. Removing height from the top flattens it. The result is a silhouette that pushes your face outward instead of upward, which is the exact opposite of what a rejuvenating haircut should do. And here is the key insight. This bob is extremely popular in chain salons because it is genuinely easy to cut. A round, one-length bob takes almost no technical skill to produce. That is why you see it on so many women. Not because it is the most flattering option, but because it is the fastest one. What you want instead is a bob with a graduated back and face framing angles. Graduation at the back means the hair is stacked and tapered so it sits closer to the head at the nape, giving the illusion of a longer, more elegant neck. The front panels angle forward toward the chin, directing the eye downward along a flattering diagonal line rather than outward in a horizontal puff. That angle is the architectural detail that changes everything. Your natural elegance deserves a shape that works with it, not one that works against your bone structure. Swap the rounded mushroom silhouette for a graduated bob with angle. When you sit in the stylist chair, say these words: I want graduation at the back and length at the front panels. That instruction alone changes the entire result. Maintenance tip: graduated bobs grow out quickly at the nape. A shape appointment every 6 weeks keeps the graduation clean, and the neck length intentional. Yes, that's simple. Part 4 is one I know is going to land hard, because we are talking about a hair length that women over 50 are almost universally told to avoid. And the truth is the exact opposite of what you have been told. For long hair with no shape or layering, there is one technique that completely changes how mature long hair reads on camera and in person. And most women over 50 have never been told about it, because the conversation always stops at whether long hair is appropriate at all. Let's put that argument to rest right now. Long hair is not the enemy. Long hair with no shape is the enemy. And there is a real difference between the two. When long hair hangs straight down from the crown with no interior structure, no graduation, no face framing, no weight removal, it does exactly what the blunt one-length bob does, but on a much more dramatic scale. It creates a visual curtain that pulls your entire face downward. The eye travels straight from crown to ends with no interruption. No lift at the cheekbones. No movement at the temples. Just weight. All of it pointing south. Here is the surprising truth that stylists in most salons will not say out loud. Long hair on mature women needs more technical work than short hair, not less. It needs curtain layers that open the face at the front. It needs interior layers that remove weight without removing length. It needs a slight beveled edge at the ends so the hair moves rather than sits. Honestly, the most striking women I have ever seen over 60 had long, beautifully layered hair that moved with them when they walked. That is not youth. That is architecture. What to swap? If your long hair currently falls in one heavy line, swap it for a layered long cut with curtain layers cut to begin at the cheekbone. Those front pieces frame your face, open your eyes, and create a visual diagonal that lifts rather than drags. The back keeps its length. The front transforms. The moment your stylist adds curtain layering to long hair, the entire face reads younger. It takes 4 minutes. It costs nothing extra. And it changes what you see in the mirror every single morning. Maintenance tip: long layered hair needs the interior layers refreshed every 10 to 12 weeks. The front curtain pieces especially, because those are the pieces doing the most work for your face. This one is everything. And part 5 wraps it all up with the most unexpected aging hairstyle of all. One that very few people are talking about. 5. The super-teased over volumized crown. You have probably seen this on someone and could not quite figure out what was off. The hair looks big, busy, almost architectural in its own way, but something about it reads older rather than younger. That feeling is not random. That is your eyes responding to a very specific structural mistake. The super-teased over-volumized crown, where the hair at the very top is backcombed or pushed dramatically high and wide, is one of the most aging silhouettes a mature woman can wear. And it is so counterintuitive because it feels like the answer to thinning hair. More volume equals more youth, right? Wrong. Not like this. Here is why it ages you. When volume is manufactured entirely at the crown through teasing or aggressive backcombing, the hair takes on an unnatural shape, too wide, too high, and too separate from the face. Instead of looking full, it looks forced. The disconnect between the volumized crown and the natural face below it actually draws more attention to the signs of aging rather than distracting from them. The hair becomes the loudest thing in the room, and not in the way you want. The fix is about redistributing volume naturally, not manufacturing it artificially. Ask your stylist about crown graduation. A cutting technique where the hair at the crown is shaped with internal layers, so it holds its own height without backcombing. The result is a crown that reads full and lifted, but feels effortless. No teasing. No hairspray architecture. Just a cut that does the work for you. Those beautiful eyes of yours deserve a silhouette that frames your whole face, not one that competes with it. Swap aggressive teasing and backcombing for a crown-graduated cut that builds height through structure, not manipulation. When you sit in the chair, ask specifically, can we build crown lift into the cut itself so I do not have to backcomb? Any skilled stylist knows exactly what you mean. Maintenance tip. Crown graduation holds its shape best between 6 and 8 weeks. Let it go longer than that and the lift collapses back into flatness, which is when the temptation to tease returns. You needed to hear this. The silhouette you choose every morning is making a decision about how old you look before you say a single word. When the cut does the work, you stop fighting your own reflection. And you start walking into every room the way you were always meant to. You just learned 5 specific hairstyle shapes that are quietly aging you. And exactly what to ask for instead. The blunt one-length cut. The flat textureless pixie. The rounded mushroom bob. The unshaped long curtain. And the teased, manufactured crown. 5 shapes. 5 swaps. And none of them require starting over. You didn't just watch a video. You changed how you'll look tomorrow. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of these 5 hairstyles have you been wearing without realizing it was working against you? I read every single comment, and I will personally reply. Next time, we are covering the one haircut detail that most stylists skip entirely. And it is the detail responsible for why some women over 60 look 10 years younger walking out of the salon while others do not. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.